You already know again. Okay, Genesis chapter 9. Today we are only looking at chapter 9 because I read chapter 10, but chapter 10 is about genealogy, which is important, guys. Never skip the genealogy. You can understand little things, alright? So, let's go. Now, chapter 9, verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all fishes of the sea. So here is this explains why animals runs away from us. Like even a lion when see a human being, if it's not like in anger or something like that, is gonna stay away from the human being because they have this fear of us inside of us, alright? Because from when they get off from the boat, God make the fear that make the animal fear humans, which makes sense because to avoid them to be killed by these animals. Okay, I'm sure that the fear was greater in that time, because God was making sure that Noah and his sons and his wives wouldn't die, but it's interesting, to pay attention to these little details, because now you can understand why when you are in the nature, all the animals run away from you, like literally like this. Okay, we have this: every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Now, is God contradicting himself? Like before they get in the ark, it was clean and unclean animal. So, for sure, they were only eating clean animal because even Noah sacrificed only clean animals. So is God like contradicting himself and saying right now, oh, you can eat everything you want? No, because if you read that verse, so even as the green herb have I given you all things. Now think about it. In nature, when you eat herbs, you know that there are plants that you can eat and plants that you cannot eat because you risk to die if you're eating, something that can kill you, right? Now I don't know names of plants that can kill you, but I know that we as humans we cannot eat like some certain type of berries. Like I know that in nature there's like a little berry where like birds eat, but we cannot eat because we risk to die. Or maybe when you think about mushrooms, there are some bad mushrooms. So God is saying everything moving thing that liveth shall be meat into you, right? Even as the green herb have I given all things. Saying, as I give you, the right herbs to eat, because I'm sure that God, instructed them that, this herb, you don't have to eat this herb because you're gonna die. Same thing is saying, as you are eating these herbs, eat also the meat, right? Now, always remember and put yourself in the position of the people we are talking about, right? Like I said when I finished the Bible, if you put yourself in the mindset of a Jew and you talk about meat, you will never think about a cat, okay? Like, you will never think about, a pork, right? Or swine, or shellfish, or all that stuff, because he knows the meat is what you can eat. Same thing today, if I say, hey man, do you want to go and eat some meat? You will never think about a cat because we don't eat cat, right? So every meat, it means, the meat that you can eat. It's simple, right? You have to put yourself in the mentality of that time. Because if today I told you, hey man, come eat some meat with me, we have every kind of meat, you will never think about cat. Like if I say, man, I have every kind of meat on the table, come to my house, come and eat. You don't expect to see beef, and then on the side cats, and then on the side dogs, and then rats. I'm sure you're not expecting that, right? Because when I say every kind of meat, you will think only about meat that we eat. Now, you will also think about swines, for example, which is the modern day that is the modern day mistake. But pay attention to this stuff, all right? But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. Another commandment from the Torah, guys. Like, this is before Moses. We have to remember, like, this is before Moses. And you already seen that there is clean and unclean animals. They knew how to perform a sacrifice. They knew how to build an altar. And you have also the commandment of not eating the blood. Now, why did God, like, if, they already knew the law, why did God say that? Because before the flood, remember, wickedness was, like, the earth was full of wickedness. And some of the practice, if you go look, historically, these guys were eating blood, drinking blood. So God was like, hey man, make sure that you don't do what these people did, alright? Then we have, of course, whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man. So we see here that no matter what, if you kill someone, you will die. It shows that you will die maybe from an animal or for another man, even from your brother, if God wants, alright? So let's be careful, right? Like, even when you think about, all these criminals, don't worry about, the judgment that is coming. They're gonna, like, God is gonna require the blood from them, for sure. If it's not in this life, in the next one. So, Now we have the nice rainbow that today is another sign of something else, right? Now, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for a perpetual generation. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of covenant between me and the earth. The rainbow, was a sign that God will never flood this earth again. I'm sure that God, like, many times it was going to flood this earth. Man, even today, just by looking around, God has every reason to flood the earth again, alright? But he keep his promises. He's truthful. He's faithful. So it's like, I have to keep my promises. That's it. Now, interesting thing. Now, today, Rainbow, by the Rainbow team, the Rainbow squad, okay? It's not the rainbow of the Bible. Like, people get mad because they are using the rainbow, the sign of God, but they are not using the sign of God. So, if you go and check, first of all, the rainbow is upside down. Their rainbow is upside down. And that, already there you can figure out, oh, wait a minute, why they put it upside down? Okay. They know what they are doing, alright? And another thing, this thanks to my friend, my brother Mashak, that helped me with this, to notice this, that there is not, like, they don't have the color indigo that is in the rainbow. They have 6 colors instead of 7. Now, the indigo is a divine color, like, is supposed to represent the divine nature of God, the wisdom of God, the spirit of God. Interesting that these people, okay, this agenda, this rainbow team, they don't have that color. And it's not 7 colors, but 6. 6, the number of men, alright? And the fact that it's also upside down. So they are telling you, hey man, like, they are telling you, we know that, we don't have, this is wrong, but we're gonna push it. And Christian and people, believers, they are mad because they are using the rainbow. They are not using the rainbow, guys. It's not the rainbow. Then, of course, by the end of the chapter, I'm sure that you know the story about Noah being drunk, and then the who was Ham, joking around, and the other two chill songs covering his nakedness, right? I learned this from Boom Church. Covering the nakedness of your parents, it can come in various ways, right? And one of the ways of covering the nakedness of your parents is avoiding their same mistake, or so that when people see you for good, right? For example, let's say, I don't know. Let's say one of your parents did a mistake, right? A mistake. You don't have to make that mistake, all right? So you're covering the nakedness of your parent. These are little things that, of course, God is looking, because it's like you're taking care of the image of the family, right? You are covering the past mistakes, and you are showing a new image of the family now. If you repeat the same errors, then you didn't cover any nakedness of your parents, right? But if you cover it like they did, like Shem and Japheth did, then you did a great job, right? So let's take this in mind. This is a small example, right? That's it for today.